too little or too much, or you'll kill your lawn.
Okay.
Congratulations. Here's your Licensed Explorer. You're good. Quickly compare insurance options and find the right coverage, even if it's not with us. What's the bad news? Now skip the line.
For the McLaren Formula One team, success starts by tracking over 14,000 parts with Smartsheet. With AI-powered workflows, every piece comes together to compete for championships. Smartsheet helps drive the future of racing.
Close enough. Fight fans, happy 420, happy Easter, and happy WrestleMania weekend. Even though I am not here to talk about WrestleMania, I am still watching it. Of course, I gotta watch WrestleMania. You can't miss out on WrestleMania. If you any type of combat sports fan in any way, the entertainment industry of professional wrestling is something that you have to jump into. You have to watch. So yes, I'm definitely watching WrestleMania right now. But besides that, Randy Orton. So maybe I'm going to do slight like live reactions to this because Randy Orton's coming on. I mean that's the childhood right there. But no, so basically I wanted to come through and do it live because having some laptop issues, we're getting it resolved this week. Luckily, having some laptop issues, so I can't transfer videos over, so I can't record and record vocal and then transfer it all over and be able to post it. It's not working with the space and everything on this laptop, unfortunately. But doesn't mean I can't come through and do a live video on my phone. So I came through and did a live, and I understand a lot of people probably aren't going to join into this live simply because it is Easter. People are with their families, people are out and about, and I expect no like high view on this or anything like that. But basically what I'm doing with this is so that we can just immediately post it. No editing, no extra stuff, nothing crazy. I can just post it, have something fresh for you guys to talk about and look at. And what I am getting into specifically today is I want to talk about that massive weekend of boxing. So not only do we have that huge announcement of the trifecta, right? You got Jose Ramirez versus Devin Haney. You got Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. You got Teofimo Lopez going up against, I forget his name every time. I can't even lie to you. Barbosa. Going up against Barbosa. So that's a stacked card to begin with. Then the next day, you got Canelo fighting. Then the day after that, you got Naoya Inoue. So this is just unbelievable for boxing because this is the type of stuff, in my opinion, that boxing has to have and needs to have. Because if you don't have things like this is how that sport runs dry. Because no one wants to pay $80 or whatever the case may be, $50 to $80, whatever the price might be. Nobody wants to pay for that for one fight. So when you're looking at it through a weekend and then you offer $90 for the two pay-per-views together, run it. Run it all day. We taking a brief intermission because it's supposed to be a surprise who Randall Orton's opponent is going to be. So let's see. I can't believe this is turning out to be a slight WrestleMania reaction episode, a boxing episode, and of course, the 420 episode. That's another reason why I'm doing this. I have to come through and do 420 episode. How do you not do a 420 episode on 420 and you a combat sports podcast that smokes weed, all based around ganja. The ganja green, my friend. I'm in a good mood. As you can tell. Let's see who it is. And Randy, 20th.
Tell you one thing, whoever it is, it's going to get their WrestleMania moment, And it's going to be courtesy of the three most dangerous letters in all of sports entertainment.
RKO. Who's it gonna be?
Guys in the locker room, don't do it.
I might see an actual reaction, a raw reaction from you, boy. A marked reaction from a wrestling fan right here. So, pause for station identification.
Who wants some?
Fucking no way. There's no way they did Joe Hendry. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. Oh my gosh, there's no way. That is fucking hilarious. You gotta believe in Joe Hendry. You gotta believe in Joe Hendry. You talk about Joe Hendry, he comes. That's hilarious, honestly. This dude, I haven't even really like gotten into wrestling and watched his wrestling or anything like that, but he has gained some traction from just small little things. He's gained some traction, so that's fun. That's fun. And to make your WWE, like your legit WWE debut, I don't know if he's coming to WWE, but wrestling Randy Orton, fuck with it. Who that down there? Wizard Rules? What's good, Wizard Rules? How you feeling tonight, Wizard Rules? Alright, so back to what I was saying now that we know Randy Orton's opponent. Let's get back to the boxing like I was talking about. But this is an amazing trifecta of not only you're getting a trifecta in terms of the fights on one card, and just a trifecta for the weekend in general. You got fantastic fights to promote, but this is exactly what boxing needs because nobody wants to get into boxing and watch for one fight. We want to see a card. As a UFC fan, and trust me, I hate it, but paying $80 for a pay-per-view, if the card is stacked, I got no problem with it. I got absolutely no problem with it. But if I was paying for one fight, I'm not trying to pay $80 for that, right? I feel like fights and cards and pay-per-views and everything like that, prices should be determined on how the person sells. So if you got somebody, and I'll take it to UFC for example, if you got like, say Juliana Pena and Kayla Harrison was headlining UFC 316. I'm sorry, I'm not paying $80 for that. That's not worth $80. They're not going to even sell in the stadium to make it worth it. Like, no, that should be $50. That should be $50. You tell me Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev 2, and then the co-main event is like something like Dricus du Plessis and Hamzat Chimaev. Take my $80. Take my $80. You know what I'm saying? So boxing did it right with this one. Just by setting this up, you got hella boxing fans that are excited for this. So very smart. Very smart. And then just the fact that you're basically talking about 45 and 45 for each pay-per-view. And then now, in a way, he never really costs. Like, I don't think you ever have to really pay a pay-per-view for Inoue. I feel like I'm always watching him do free fights in the morning. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Now, I watched a little bit of the guys sitting there. They were talking about, it's crazy how they're setting this up. They are doing this perfectly. They're getting all these guys together, putting them in the same area, and having like round table talks, almost like little mini press conferences between all the fighters. And man, it's hilarious. It's hilarious, right? So you had this one where T.O. was going back and forth with Devin. Ryan's going back and forth with Devin. Rolly's sitting over there smirking. You got Jose Ramirez, who is the most slept-on fighter in this whole thing. And I know I forgot about Barbosa's name earlier in this video, but that doesn't mean he's the most slept-on. The man is still a savage. I think Jose Ramirez is the most slept-on in this one. He could bring serious problems to Devin Haney. But just look at how good those fights are. Each one, no matter the matchup, each one has something to it to where you really want to break it down. You really want to get into it and analyze it and talk about it. Same as this next weekend's fight. You got Conor Benn going up against Chris Eubank Jr. Eubank and Benn way back in the 80s or maybe 90s. I might be wrong. 90s maybe. Back in the Dizzy, okay? They fought, and now you got the two sons fighting. It's pretty insane, and it's cool because they actually do have somewhat of a legit rivalry, right? Is Eubank gonna crack him with an egg again? I don't know. Yo, that shit was funny actually. If you watch Chris Eubank Sr.'s video, he's like, I will not be in his corner. He is a disgrace. He is a disgrace. He is a disgrace. You crack an egg on him. What is that? You crack an egg on him. Absolutely disgraceful. I am Invictus. That man is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Top three favorite UFC fighters. That's a really good question. If you're talking about current or are you talking about general? I'll give you my general favorite UFC fighters of all time, and it's basically going to be the three people who got me into the sport, right? A lot of people don't expect one of the names on this list, but the three people that got me into the sport were Anderson Silva, Jose Aldo, and Benson Henderson. So when I talk about what made me a fan, those three really brought my attention to the game. But besides that, if you're talking about currently, Charles Oliveira. This is tough. This is tough. You know, I try to think who are fighters that actually make me nervous when I watch them fight. And those end up being like my most favorite fighters, right? Like I always nervous watching Charles fight. Not only does the style that he fights, it makes it nerve-wracking. It's just nervous when you're watching your favorite. And he is my number one favorite in the game right now. Max Holloway always makes me nervous, and he's hard for me to not put on the list. He's always putting on exciting fights, always putting on entertaining fights. And then, hard to go against Alex Pereira too, because he makes me nervous as well, and I just enjoy watching Alex Pereira fight. I enjoy like the whole build up and everything. It's tough. It's tough to pick just three fighters that I'm talking as my favorite because there's just so many people, right? Like this past weekend, I fanned out for Volk, right? You got in a few weeks or a few months, you got Marab and Sean O'Malley, and I like Marab. I'm cool. I like Sean O'Malley a little bit too. So it's like there's always it's every single fight, every single card you find somebody that you mess with, and that's kind of what it is, right? Like I'm rocking with the fighting nerds a lot lately, like a lot lately. Do I think that Carlos Prates is going to win this weekend? We're going to talk about that in a minute. But I fuck with the fighting nerds, so it's tough. There's a whole bunch. There you go, Randy. RKO his ass. Let him know what's up. This episode has been the craziest switch up. I'm watching WrestleMania, talking about boxing, now talking about MMA, back to WrestleMania, going back to MMA. Nah, but there's so many fighters that really brought my eyes in different moments, right? In different times. Obviously, if you're looking at the 2013 to 2016 era, almost everybody was kind of a Conor McGregor fan. Or you hated Conor. It was one of the two. You either loved Conor or you hated Conor. Either way, you tuned in to watch because you wanted to see him lose or you wanted to see him win. But at that moment, that's another person who even brought me closer to the sport, closer and closer, And then what kind of brought me to this was more or less like there's just so much going on. There's always something going on in the fight game, and there's always fighters to talk about, But I don't know. It's like I said, it's really, really hard for me to pick just three fighters that I could rock with. But I would have to say it's probably Charles, Max, and Alex. It's probably my best pick of three right now. Thing about it too is like once the eras start to change, you start to new people start to grow. You start to becoming a fan of different fighters, and like you're watching the old guard start to fade out. So now you're just making a whole new list, and your list is changing. Like 5 years ago, legitimately 5 years ago, because that was the last time DC fought, but DC would have been on that list. I loved watching Daniel Cormier fight. I think he is truly one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. And I know he had that stint in light heavyweight where he put on fantastic fights and stuff like that. Whooped up on Anthony Johnson twice, rest in peace. Whooped on Gustafson. Like he went in there, did his thing. Whooped up on Dan Henderson. Like he really went in that division and did his thing. But heavyweight Daniel Cormier, if he would have got to stick at heavyweight his entire prime, go. Go. Besides Cain Velasquez, obviously teammates, so he is the entire reason why DC took all that weight cutting and all that to go down to 205 is because he wanted to, his friends got a championship, his brothers got a championship up top. He's gonna get one over here, But if besides Cain Velasquez in that division at that time, DC runs through everybody. DC runs through everybody. Anybody want to argue? I hate this song. Here is another breakdown. How bad this fucking song is. One, y'all letting your children just play that over and over and over and over and over again, knowing exactly what the fuck a fiend is. You got kids fiending for the song Fiend. I don't know. I think I just legitimately can't stand Playboy Cardi. The most overrated artist in the game, right? When you take it back to when that dude started, I see how people could kind of mess with him a little bit. Like he had like a different sound. Now he just sounds, I'm sorry, he sounds stupid. Just sounds stupid. Travis always creative though. Travis Scott's always very creative artist. Ooh, Logan and AJ Styles. They're going to be flipping like a motherfucker in that fight. Match. Ain't no damn fight. That's a match. Well, speaking of Paul, did you guys see Jake Paul's next fight got announced?
The world's most precious resource?
He got Chavez. Yeah. Chavez Jr. Yeah. Who gives a flying fuck? Awful. Garbage. Stupid. Just stupid. Just giving him a matchup. Just giving him a matchup to win. It's ace. Well, let's get to the other topic I was going to bring up during this episode. This weekend, Carlos Prates versus Ian Gary. Who is going to win? Let me tell you something. Ian Gary better not be sleeping on Carlos Prates. That's one. Two, you already know Ian Gary. As soon as the fight starts, now he's got this little bit of wrestling and jiu-jitsu involvement that he's been doing with his training. He's going to be either just holding him up against the cage, clinching him, or taking him down. He might dominate him while doing it, but that's basically what he's going to do. And try to do some shit about, the man smokes cigarettes and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, if he's sleeping on Carlos Prates is the right dude to land a nasty punch to put somebody like Ian Gary to sleep. And I think Ian's a very talented striker, very good fighter. I think Carlos is too. We're going to see what happens this weekend. But if you really want to get into a full breakdown, which I will, I'll get into an actual episode that you guys could, the edits and everything like that, full breakdown on that. But if you want to really look into it, Ian Gary has the more well-rounded game, right? He's a good striker, and we saw that he has some skill set on the ground, along with like a defensive, skill set on the ground, right? He did well defending pretty much everything Shavkat was working for, but Carlos Prates is no slouch. He's not somebody to sleep on. And the second he sees he's got you hurt, he is a shark in the water. He smells blood in the water. He is going to finish you. But I can't make an actual prediction right now. Too far from the fight. We live streaming WrestleMania. That is really crazy.
When we say we're in it with you, we mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings.
So yeah, a lot of combat stuff going on. A lot going on in the fight world. You know, you got a whole bunch of boxing,
But less tough when you
big
have
MMA
everything by your
fights.
side.
Currently got WrestleMania.
Kansas City, and thousands
Tomorrow is the first Raw
because together we're proving
after Mania on Netflix. That's gonna be
power.
sweet too. It's gonna be real good too. I feel like a lot of you might not have even known that I'm a wrestling fan, but I know if you're my friend, you're somebody that's been around me, spoke to me, talked to me, you know damn well. I grew up on this shit. Attitude era, ruthless aggression era, damn straight grew up on this stuff. I love wrestling. It's not the same, right? It's definitely not the same. And yeah, I get how people look at it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give no fucks. They probably gonna put Logan Paul over. See, like, this was the proper thing for the Pauls to do. I'm not mad at how it's all gone, you know? Give Jake props for finally, like, building himself to something, right? And, like, he's dedicated to the sport of boxing, so I'll give him props on that, right? I hate seeing opportunities get taken from the hardworking human being, though. You know what I mean? Like, I hate it. So you have to show me that you got that hard work, too, and he has put the work in. Not saying that he deserves anything more than these guys who've had, like, 350 amateur fucking fights, but, you know, he's doing a little different. But this right here, this I can't be mad at, right? Same thing. There is a lot of people that have been working to get that exact same opportunity that he got. But if you're talking about bringing, you know, just a social media celebrity into a sport, into something, putting him into WWE is not that bad. It's an entertainer. It's like an entertainment sport. So it's sports entertainment. I ain't gonna lie to you though. I'm starting to figure out what it is why people hate them. And I'm not a violent person, okay? I just like watching the violence in a safe realm. They both got some of the most punchable faces. That's what it is. Like, I think it doesn't even matter what comes out of his mouth. He got a punchable face. And I think that's it. You ever seen Step Brothers? Just don't like your face. That's it right there. There's something about it. I don't like your face. I don't like I just
And this match tonight is presented by the General Insurance. The General Insurance gives you a break when you need it most. No matter what you think about Logan Paul, he's been incredible at WrestleMania. He's 2-1
it's
in
not
last
working.
year. He beat Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in the same match. Logan Paul has been spectacular. Logan Paul is so humble. That's what the song says.
Well, I'm not going to do an entire stream of WrestleMania. I'm going to go watch this normally, but I wanted to come through and have a little bit on that boxing, a little bit on the MMA, a little bit on WrestleMania, and wish everybody a happy Easter and a happy 420. So I appreciate you for watching this live. If you did, if you come back and watch it, however you do, I don't care, whatever. Like, comment, subscribe after that. Hit the bell notification button so you know when the next episode is out. There's going to be a lot of episodes coming this week, so make sure to stay tuned, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain. You already know. Phenomenal one.